Alright guys, here we are, it's the RSL Season 6 hero in the bottom right side of the map, Shin in the top left, can't wait to see what's going to go on here. Now of course, this is going to be really interesting. Full disclosure, this one I believe was paid just before the most recent hotfix, but guess what, Protoss and Zerg don't build 300 mineral command centers, and as a result, I still figured this one was worth casting. It's so much work right now trying to find series that are up to date on the current patch, because every 3 days a new patch comes out and ruins all of the game's relevancy. And you know, people have been going, oh, this one's out of date, this one's out of date. I'm like, there's a hotfix every 3 days. What am I supposed to do, guys? Do you want content or not? But I am trying to put in as much effort as I can to get current games. And this one, the only real change is that, like, if hero goes Colossus, they won't have the +2 damage versus Roaches, right? Which is the only real interaction where that's going to affect anything. But just, it's something to keep in mind in case we do see Colossus from hero. You never know what hero's going to do. He plays some of the jankiest, craziest PvZ styles. And it's going to be a 15 spawning pool for Shin. Interesting. Okay, so 15 spawning pool. He'll go down and probably has to go take a third base. I think it's not a bad idea to force a pylon out of hero, because the Protoss build is very tight, especially when you have to chrono the probe, because otherwise you'll lose chrono time. So if you build that pylon too early, it can be really rough. And you can see Shin's going to wait here. And because hero hasn't confirmed the spawning pool, and he's hidden the pool in the back, so you have to go in deep, which means when you go to check if it's an early pool or not, Shin gets the hatchery up. Shin is just a genius, man. His openings are always so good. And a lot of people say, like, oh man, you can't get your base up. You have to take your third every game. And I was like, I don't think you do. Like, if you go pool first, don't get me wrong, they could block your expansion if they're willing to commit to pylons. So depending on how people are playing at your skill level, you could be like, okay, I just have to go take the third and play, you know, hatch and that sort of stuff. But you could either play a gas pool and hatchery being a bit delayed, or go take the third straight away. I quite like Shin's version, but Shin's gone 6 Zerglings, and that is a wild decision. 6 Zerglings. And that's going to put him quite far behind economically, but it's going to force Zealots out. It forces Cybercore before Nexus as well off of this pool. And the probe comes in to try to stay there, but Shin sends 2 Zerglings back. And he was hoping the probe would go into the base so he could trap it on creep, but hero's micro very good, keeping distance from the Zerglings. 2 Zerglings will eventually kill a probe, given enough time to chase it. On a small map like this, though, it should easily get home. Zealot is out. Adept is being chronoed. As long as the Zealot stops the pylon going down, I think hero's totally fine. Gets himself a hit on the Zergling. Almost gets the second one. Not quite. We can see that second gas coming up right now. Now, because it's free reign on the droning behind this, Queen number 1's going to the natural. Queen number 2 is building. It does feel quite nice for Shin. You've kind of just disrupted your opponent's Nexus. You've made their opening a bit more iffy. And at the same time, you've built 6 Lings for full map control and vision. You've got your hatchery up, but Ling speed is delayed. It's not started. It's past 3 minutes. There's an Adept coming across the map. The Zergling here is going to get a full scout. Should be able to see the Stargate. Very nice. Sees the Stargate there. Adept's going to find itself its first Zergling kill on the Zerg side of the map. Now, obviously, if we think about this change, warp gateways are still really good. They're way better than warp gates, but they don't have the plus 10% final change, as well as the faster warp gate transformation from the most recent hotfix, which has taken them from really, really good gateway production to straight up busted. I think there's straight up busted things for all factions right now. But I'm actually wondering if Zerg, after the 300 mineral command center and the gateways getting another buff, is actually a little bit weaker than the others. Because that initial lava buff was so big, but now there's been such big buffs to gateways and to command centers. I wonder. I don't know. I mean, to me, it feels like it'll be really interesting to just kind of watch and see where the meta settles. If there's one thing I've really learnt, is that a lot of people look to pros for them to innovate, figure things out before everyone else. And whilst I've seen fantastic execution, really good openings, great mechanics, I don't think we've seen people really scratch the surface of what they can do with the new gateways, with the 300 mineral command centers, with the Zerg, with faster lava production, but also just the economic implications of this patch, right? The minerals take so much longer to mine out in the main and the natural. The gas also mines out so much faster, which also is really shifting late game priorities, and in a way which I can't even, I'm not even going to pretend I understand just yet. Like, it changes things a lot, and I don't think we fully understand it just yet, and neither do the pros. StarCraft's a very mechanical game. You know, it's very hard to draw conclusions until you've got thousands of games in a certain game state. So far, though, Shin's got good control, but his third base is not up particularly early. He's got 3 Queens, 11 Zerglings, and oh my god, it's a very delayed Glaive Adept. Okay, I like this. Hero's building out of regular gateways, guys. Look at that. The Adepts are going to build in 16 seconds. They are so fast. Remember, they're 33 seconds to build pre-upgrade. It's more than doubles the production speed of these Adepts once the upgrade kicks in. Isn't that crazy? You know, they say, because it's meant to be like a 40 or 50% buff, but it's actually way more than that. So it's actually not a flat percentage buff. I'm pretty sure it's just a set number for each unit, right? Essentially, it just gives you a massive, massive production boost. And unfortunately, Shin's going melee. Oh no. It's not the right build here. I mean, this does not look like a Glaive Adept build. There's no warp gates. Oh, did you see the Adepts come out? He might be distracted by the Oracle. The Oracle might have distracted him. You hear that Diva voice pack there for Shin, as he loves to do. These Adepts are a really big problem. He drops a Baneling Nest, but it's coming down a bit late, and the Adepts are already heading forwards. Glaives is almost there. The Adepts are dancing around. Does he realize what he's up against? He's building a lot more Zerglings. That's the correct call. Shin needs to just make nothing but Lings right now. He's not going to have melee, so he's going to need a lot of Zerglings around and Queens to deal with this first attack. Since Baneling Nest is still 20 seconds away, then he's going to need another 17 seconds to morph a Baneling. I say 17 seconds. I got to be honest, guys. I have no idea how long a Baneling morph takes. 13? 17 seconds? You guys let me know in the chat. I'm going to say 13 seconds, actually. Someone probably knows those numbers. Adepts are moving forwards right now. 4 Overlords are building Queens coming out. The Baneling Nest. It's going to finish as the Shade is here. And that's a little bit too late. Gets in the corner. Nice Zergling positioning. The Queens are there as well. He gets a few Lings wrapped around. I don't know if he needed to back away with the Zerglings. Probably did. I mean, it was probably the right call. Goes up there, morphs some Banelings inside the main. It's 14 seconds, guys. I guess we had to split the difference, hey? And there we go. The Adepts do Shade in behind the main. And look at this terrible building placement for Shin. He's created, like, wall-offs back there where it's hard to surround the Protoss. Luckily, he blocks him from getting back there. But the Banelings all blow up on just 2 Adepts. Those were not optimal. That being said, it damaged enough of them with the Zerglings. He cleans it all up, and he does avert disaster. I think this is not too bad for Shin. As long as he gets that 4th up, which, you know, it's almost finished. He's got to be careful, though. hero's not done attacking. This is hero we're talking about. Keeping in his pants. Antithetical to his nature. This man only buys his track pants with the elastic already worn out. We've got more gateways building. He is into warp gate production. Stalkers, Blink, +1, and a fleet beacon. So it's going to be that early mothership that hero has been loving. The Zound style from even before the patch, right? Last season, he was doing the Blink into 3-base mothership. And look at that. He instantly starts it. Really good against Hydras. And I would say Hydra Bane is probably really not great in the current meta just because of the mothership. I'm a pretty big believer in that. I feel like it always took a while to get going, the Hydra Bane, but nowadays it's even more struggling than ever. Adepts coming in here. Ling Bane should be able to clean that up. 2 of those Adepts will shade away, but 4 drones, not bad. 5th base is on the way. Spire comes in nice and early for Shin. This is genius. I think he just knows, because Hero's been doing this every friggin' day. Every single day. So if you already have Corruptors ready when the Mothership's here preemptively, that's great, but Hero has learnt, man. I know we spent 2 months talking about how Hero doesn't like to make Psystorm. Hero had his worst win rate for a long time on that previous season. And then he randomly, a month or 2 before the patch, decided to start making Psystorm again. His win rate skyrocketed. It was a crazy choice for him to boycott Storm for as long as he did. I mean, he had those wins at the start of the year against Serral, against Solar, against Raynor, against like all the best Zergs by skipping Storm. And I think he got a bit too much hype off of that. And he was like, let's do it. Let's never make Psystorm again. Now he's back to Storm. And it's just so good. Because once you have Mothership, it buys time. Zerg's like, gotta wait for Corruptors. But then by the time the Corruptors are there, you've got a bunch of Psystorm and Time Warps. And Hero's just, his 4th is late. He always takes the later 4th on this patch. And the economy looks good for the Zerg. But the thing is, the main doesn't mine out that quickly. As long as he doesn't die and eventually secures the 4th and gets a ton of Storm, he's going to be in a powerful spot. Corruptors coming out now for Shin. Shin's on 82 workers. Like, it seems like a pretty amazing economy. But I kind of feel like against this style, Ultras are absolutely the best way to play. I don't know if you guys agree with this, but I've been watching a lot of ZVP recently. And it really feels like if the Protoss is turtling on 3-base like so many are, Ultras are the thing that counters all of these units. Lings take a pretty good trade, get a few Stalkers. You don't want to overcommit there. Lings are cheap, but they're not free. Units lost about 1,000, 1,200 in favor of Hero, who's doing what I would describe as a poke forwards here. His army's quite weak right now. It's 12 Zealots, 5 High Templar, 1 Mothership. It's good defensively with the cannons and the batteries. But on the forward path, it seems weak. Then again, what does Zerg have? Just Zerglings? Only 12 Hydras. Oh my gosh, is this actually one of these pushes that, like, it looks kind of flaccid, but then you realize the Zerg's droning right now. He just got caught droning. He doesn't have any Banelings. He didn't think that hero would push right now. Hero doing one of these crazy hero moves. No one expects a Protoss to push right here with just this handful of units. It feels like a turtle style for Protoss, and yet he's got to wait for the Corruptors. The Corruptors finally do come in. The Hydra micro was excellent, though. He avoided most of the storms. Only really lost the Zerglings there, but normally you want Banelings against these pushes because they clear the Zealots. If they ever get on top of the High Templar, they blow them up. Nonetheless, great hold there for Shin, who's still only down about 1,200 resources, but he's mining with more. The problem is that fourth base is now up for Protoss. Now, hero does need to take these gases because gas is the most important resource, and his main will mine out about 14, 15 minutes. Corruptors, of course, looking for the potential PP follow-up attack. Immortals are now coming in. I think the reason these Protoss builds are so streamlined is they're not really building a core of very expensive mass Stalker or very expensive, like, double Robo Immortal for their army. That's part of why Ultras can be quite good. It also means Roaches are quite good. Stasis Trap on the left side is going to go up, freeze a Mineral Line. I don't think Shin cares too much. That's just delayed mining time. It doesn't kill his drones. He's already maxed. And this is a way more important move, taking out one of the 4 Nexi of Protoss, especially the 2 of the gases mining there. He will lose a couple of Corruptors. But Hydra Bane comes in at the same time. Bane's in the Mineral Line could be excellent. Oh, that Baneling could be massive. Remember, they don't one-shot workers anymore. Probes will escape. Splitting a few Banes into this army might be nice. But the Archons, of course, could potentially clear it. He's going to go for it. Hero not storming, not watching, it feels like. But the Archons do seem to be enough. The Nexus Probes going back to mine in the middle of the Hydras. A very sloppy fight here for Hero, who doesn't seem to remember where Psystorm is on his keyboard. He finally does drop a few Psystorms, chasing through it a little bit as well. But actually, if he catches these Hydras, it's all worth it. Catching Hydras is huge. Corruptors just came in, caught some units there. I don't know if that was a Warp Prism or Observer or what it was they just shot down. But those last Hydras, there's always that point. You think this is going well for Zerg, and then the Hydras are left with no support. And suddenly, it's a disaster. Corruptors are all going to die if he doesn't pull them out. This is bad. Going to lose all the Corruptors here. Like, what? 2 of them survive, but that's pretty bad. It looks like the Oracle, the Phoenix, the Prism, the Mothership have all died. So it's probably the Warp Prism that got sniped by those Corruptors before. Now, since the Corruptors have died, Hero will rebuild the Mothership. The Mothership in this match is a lot like Colossus against Terran. You don't really want to be building Colossus when they've got heavy Viking out, but the moment the Vikings die, or in this case the Corruptors, you immediately rebuild that unit that they counter, because you know the Zerg does not want to rebuild the Corruptors, the Terran doesn't want to rebuild the Vikings. Hero's taken some really sloppy fights, he's in a really bad spot, and therefore, based off of my experience commentating this game, I'd say he's got this in the bag, guys. Like, Shin has such a good position, but remember, Shin does not have late game. He's not a late game player, he refuses to play late game in this matchup, he hates late game, and Hero's on 4 bases, so even though he's like taking bad army versus army fights, his economy's largely untouched. Like, okay. Oh, wait, he never rebuilt this. Wait, what? He didn't rebuild his main earlier. Oh, okay, never mind. His income's not quite... Even though he's got a good work account, here his income... I was like, why is his supply growing so slowly? He didn't rebuild the main straight away. What a mad lad. Yeah, often... Hero often finds win conditions where you snipe an Nexus, and most players would instantly rebuild it, then think about what to do next. Hero will very often just build units and go kill you after you do that. You know, if you overextend to sniper base. Infestation Pit's coming in. Now you might think, well, it's good Shin's going late game. You said he doesn't go late game. No, his late game's terrible, guys. He never practices it. He never plays it. So I'm not hating on Shin. It's purely an assessment of his facilities, guys. You know, I'm not gonna say like you know, a pure striker is good at wrestling. Israel Adesanya was never good. He wasn't exactly a good jiu-jitsu guy. It wasn't his strength. I'm not saying he's bad compared to the average person, but same thing here for Shin, man. He's best in the mid game hitting timing attacks, and the longer this goes, the harder it is to find a way in. I like the 2-prong though. The Observer gives warning though, and there's a bunch of High Templar. If they can move in front and storm up here, this could be good. Hero, can he land the storms? Yeah, great zoning storms, and I think the correct decision to pull out of there. You can see Hydra Bane's hit its expiry date, guys. There's too many Psystorms here. It's really hard to deal with this. These probes are very exposed. Force fields coming in as well. Who the hell still thinks to force field this deep in the game? Hero does. He is just all over it. And the Hydra Bane, like I said, it's hit its expiry date. There's too much Storm Arc on Mothership out now. It's hard to find good trades with it. It's not like it's a terrible army, but you can't really find an amazing fight with your opponent. And now that the Immortal count is growing, there's 6 Immortals. Ultras won't be good. So Broodlords, I think, have to be the option here. Neuroparasite's a decent idea as well. Could obviously Neuroparasite the Protoss units. use the old turn Protoss units on themselves. hero has done an excellent job of controlling the map, keeping active, keeping in his opponent's face. He's going to lose a prism there. Decent storm to scare back Shin. Shin will deny the 5th base, but he needs more damage than this. He needs a complete surround on this army. He cannot attack this from one side. This is a terrible angle for him to engage from. Here comes that cloaking field. There's no storms in the mix. The Stalkers are going to blink into the Ling Hydra. Hero taking his most hero of engagements. Just absolute Chad gamer mode, just punching over the top with a huge... And I think he had an army supply lead going into this fight as well, because Shin's work account was so high. It's so frustrating as a Zerg, but that 200 Max's supply, not allowing him to have quite enough units. The time warp was really good. Hero loves to just force messy, savage engagements. And you could see Shin just didn't quite have the numbers for it. Loses a hatchery, loses a lot of units. And now a 10,000 resource lead in the units lost. Mothership has 9 kills. Remember, this is the second Mothership. The first one did get sniped. Only 1 High Templar has died in this game and 5 Archons. You can see that the retainment on these Archons and High Templar has just been way too good for Hero. That's where his efficiency is coming from. He's going to go for a full A-move army here, guys. And with no Storm, that's a massive overcommitment. It's the sort of fight that gives Shin hope that maybe, just maybe, he can make something happen. Mama's taking huge damage. The Overseers are there. The Immortal's going down. Oh my god, is he not going to get her? Okay, he does get the Mothership, does break the Immortals and the Archons for the most part, but then Zealot Warping comes in, and even though that fight looked like, okay, we're getting valuable Protoss units, he lost so many Hydras to do it, and remember, he's still not got the space up and mining. It's 84 workers, there's good mineral income, decent gas income, but Hero's getting his 5th base up, and Shin, it feels like he's always just not quite got a crushing enough engage for it to put him in a great spot. Hero comes north, sees 3 Spore Crawlers. These Hydras, if they wait there, it's a free prism snipe. Yeah. There's no way Hero's watching this, is he? Oh, he is. Good management. Now, Hero's only got 2 High Templar. He's got to keep remaking those. He did, of course, get the gas mining on this base eventually a few minutes ago. It's prism. Very dangerous. Luckily, there's no lunge for these Hydras. Shin did not make lunge. It's a really good upgrade lunge. He's actually going anabolic synthesis. So he's getting both Ultra upgrades. He's already got 2-2 for those Ultras. He's got 1-2 for the Hydras. Kind of surprised he focused so much on melee upgrades. I feel like the Hydras have been the real core of this army, and I think +2 range would have been a really big upgrade. Hydra's getting caught there. Infestor down the bottom. A few Banes could jump on these Zealots. The Infestor's going to throw a Fungal. He's going to go Fungal Baneling combo on the High Templar, but they morph into an Archon at the last second. And this little blob of Immortal Archon. Hero, I mean, so many players would just turtle up and try to be safe. But Hero, I think he knows he's got Recall available as a get-out-of-jail-free card. Can't afford a new Mothership right now. It's still, like, it's just these... This is always the thing where it's like he just drip feeds the Zerg hope. You're down on supply against Protoss, though. You're so dead as Shin here. You can't be down on supply against Protoss. Even if you're up 20 supply here, it's hard to finish them. And a big part of that is, of course, the tail end on the gas income. Remember, when the economies take a bit of damage, you start losing a hatchery here or there. Gas income often stays pretty similar, and Protoss can turn that into a very solid army with the way High Templar and Archons work, being almost pure gas, but very good combat spell unit and general combat unit with the Archon and the High Templar. Zerg, of course, still needs a lot of minerals for their gas-heavy units, as does, you know, every other faction, essentially. It's just the High Templar is that one unit which happens to be really effective in that scenario. So a messy economy usually helps the Protoss player, as we get a gigantic lag spike. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what went on there. Oh, good Ling Run by comes in. What is going on right now? Big lag spike. Sorry, guys. Guess it didn't... my computer didn't want to see Shin leave that game. That's going to be GG. Well played. So Hero there does win the game. The 3-base Mothership causing so many issues. All right, let's get into it. Hero in the top left, Shin in the bottom right. It's cross-map Old Sun Temple. Shin's going to be unhappy with that, guys. And that is perfect chrono timing for Hero, right as he got to 6.5 to 7 seconds. Perfect chrono timing, and you can see he's actually speed mining as well. Rather than trying to micro your workers to stay on these close patches, when you have so many open mineral patches, they're constantly going to bounce off these close patches on a lot of maps. So you're better off just, if you're going to be putting APM into getting more efficient mining, this is what he's doing is actually a better usage of it a lot of the time. Now, obviously, I wouldn't advise this to most players. Hero, Clem, Max Packs, they love doing this shift clicking. Raynor does it a bit, Lambo does it a little bit. Harston likes to do it, but he messes it up constantly and actually puts himself behind by doing it, is the joke that he always makes. That's kind of how I do it as well. I feel like it's a net negative when I do it because I will misclick a few times. I will like do 2 to 3 shift clicks to speed up my mining. If I try to optimize it, I just end up hurting myself. Sporting pool goes down. Shin decides to build it over to the left, I guess to like scout oracles coming in and stuff like that. And it is once again going to be a 15 pool. Seems to be his MO. Now, interestingly, hero is scouting on 12. I guess part of the reason is you're playing Shin. He might just all in you. And you know what would be crazy is if he gets there just as the drone's coming down and actually gets to block it. Oh, this could be so annoying for Shin. He's got to hide the drone, hide the drone. His overlord sees it. Hide the drone, hide the drone, hide the drone. He didn't hide the drone. Shin, no. Oh, this is bad. Shin. Oh, not by the hairs on my shin, guys. Now, to be fair, hero's already done an extra chrono. He's going to go Cybercore before Nexus. I guess that's just because he knows it's pool first again, isn't he? Now, there we go. It's going to be 4 Zerglings coming out. Hatchery goes up on the 3rd. Oh, disaster for Shin. Shin needed to react a little bit quicker. I don't think he was expecting Hero to scout on this map. And Hero even commits to the pylon there. So he's going to go in the main, check he's not getting cheesed. He sees he's not because the lava, of course, there's only a few of them turned into Zerglings. The gas has only just been taken. He can cancel this now just before it finishes and get that 75 mineral refund. All right, Nexus goes down. He's 100 minerals late and accidentally pulled 2 probes to the natural. Man, I love how relatable Hero is. He had accidentally sent a second worker to the natural and was about 6-7 seconds late on the Nexus. Beautiful. I do think I've become a stronger Protoss player since I stopped obsessing over my openings being good. Hero has had a similar effect on my Protoss that Dark had years ago on my Zerg, where once I realized this was like the best or one of the best players of that race with the worst, like sloppiest builds and constant supply blocks ever. And I just said, you know what? But they still win because they focus on what's important. And they've got killer instinct. They focus on what's important. They focus on making things hard for their opponent. They never expect their opponents to play a perfect game. They're always looking to put their opponents in a situation where if they make 1 or 2 small mistakes, they could lose. And that's eye-opening, and it's liberating as a player when you play that style. Like, look at this. He's just walking a Stalker across. He's like, there's no way you have an early link speed. You're not going to have link speed till 4 minutes at the earliest. And now he's got a Stalker, denying Shin from taking his 3rd base. And Shin can't even transfer drones to his natural right now. He's way oversaturated on this main. This is so annoying for Shin. Zergling will get in the main and see the Stargate. 26 workers to 23 in Protoss favor. Drone's going to go down there, sees the Stalker, and he's like, are you kidding me? Dude, I want to see Hero recall that Stalker as well. Don't lose it, you know? The Lings are going to come out. Slow Zerglings will chase the Stalker away. I think Hero should just recall it. He's going to lose it. He's not careful. Shin. Oh, he's not quite able to get it. Oh my god, dude, if this Stalker escapes. Shin's so annoyed. The Stalker just walks away. Oh, he's so irritating. Oh, he's so good at this game. And the drones are only now transferring to the natural. A Stalker just wanders across the map and completely ruins Shin's opening. It's not even meant to be a good unit in the early game of this matchup, but this is Hero recognizing, hey, you go spawning pool early, you build 4 to 6 Zerglings, but you know what? Your link speed's really late, and I can take advantage of that. And he will lose a Stalker here, but at the same time, Adept shading in, grabbing 2 drones, the Stalker does fall, but he's already got 2 drone kills, mining time in the main, and he's already up 10 workers, because he's forced so many Zerglings. Another 12 Zerglings building. This is like game over from the opening, man. Look at that, and Hero's just going to trade the Adepts out in the choke points here, tries to micro them around. Like, the Adepts will go down, but they've done so much damage. And now as Hero, you just need to not lose your 3rd. Honestly, even if he loses it once, he's probably fine. Sending the Oracle across the map is crazy right now. It's so unnecessary. Hero, oh my god, and he flies into 2 queens in a spawn. Okay, and he even stops for the creep tumor snipes. I mean, he does keep the Oracle alive. And he's got a 2nd one out, and a 3rd one is being chronoed slightly as well. So I think he'll be okay. The Adept positioning, not crazy ideal, but that's okay. And look at his Oracle micro. He keeps the acceleration up. Remember, the acceleration is very slow on the Oracle at the start, so you got to keep it moving in between its shots. If it ever completely comes to a stop, the Zerglings will get distance on it, and they'll take almost no damage, and you'll have wasted all that Oracle energy. But Hero now, he's going 4 gases. He's got Twilight Council and Forge coming up. He is a bit supply blocked on 58, but overall a very clean start for him against a Zerg Shin who is just desperately trying to recover his economy. And you might be like, oh, but look, Pig Zerg's up on income. Yeah, but where's his tech, guys? Zerg is meant to be ahead at about 40 drones, race ahead, and then the Protoss will catch back up, even though the Zerg hit 60 drones early, because every time the Zerg builds a building, that's a dead drone. Dead drone, dead drone. Every gas they take, that's going to be a dead drone. So Zerg needs to get ahead on workers, because they're going to start having to sacrifice workers just to get their tech. And there's no tech, there's no lair, there's no Evo chamber. It's a very awkward position. Charge +1's already on the way for Protoss, and Protoss is in a competitive worker count position with 3 oracles on the map. There's only 4 queens and 11 Zerglings. Just going to find 2 drones there. These oracles, a menace. Oh my gosh. Okay, luckily for Shin only loses 1 of those. So oracle's dancing very nicely. Stasis trap's going to go down here. Single drone will eat that one. Oh, misclicks the drone there. Almost looks like bait. Robo and Templar Archives on the way. And you can see he's using those regular gateways. I love to see hero using these regular gateways. Really well done here, man. Really, really, really well done. Actually, I said this was on the previous patch, but these zealots are building in 14 seconds, guys. That means this is current patch, right? Can I say managing about 50 patches at once? 50,000 hotfixes. Maybe this is the like I said, the changes are effectively not affecting this matchup in the most recent hotfix anyway. Only very, very slightly. Lair's going to come in. I'd like to see a Spire here for Shin normally, but because he's behind in income, I don't know if he'll have the confidence to do that. He could go Infestation as well, go early Hive for those Ultras I was talking about. Fleet Beacon's already on the way for it. Hero is just rushing Mothership every game. It's actually, it's silly how much Protoss players are rushing Mothership, but this is why the Spire is such a good call. Question is, do you go Corruptors for a timing attack, or just Mutas and fly around and harass? I think Mutas is probably better. Oracle Zealot coming in. Oh no, losing your 4th would be so bad here. You can't be fighting under 3 Oracles though. So we're gonna, oh my gosh, he's trying to buy time. The Queens are here. Phoenix down there, did manage to catch an Overlord. Oh, the hatchery gets killed, not cancelled. And that's such a good trade for Hero. He's gonna lose a couple Zealots for a hatchery that's so crucial to Shin, because he needs these gases up to go for this this Muta play. He should be building an economic advantage. Protoss is building Immortal Archon. Did he cancel his Mothership, guys? Did he see the Spire? He didn't see the Spire, but he cancelled his Mothership. And he's just going for a Zealot Archon Immortal timing while building a 4th base. He's also mining this open, but he's clicked his probes on the outside rather than the inside minerals, so they're going to take forever to mine that open. Blink's on the way, +2. Hero seems to have some sort of odd read on Shin, but yeah, he didn't see the Spire, so not sure what that read is, other than seeing Mass Zergling. It might be the Mass Zergling has told him Shin's going Mutalisks, because otherwise, where's the Roaches? Where's the Banelings? Why are you saving all your gas? It's got to be for Mutalisks. That might be the read. Queen's coming over, Oracle's getting peppered. Update, guys, on the YouTube comment with Backseaters. We had a few more comments this week. Oh, you guys notice every time this commentator makes a prediction, it's wrong. Oh, he's so wrong. He's so bad. Hot tip, guys. I've noticed, you guys who make comments like this, you never post a timestamp or mention what I'm wrong about. Happy to be wrong. Happy to be corrected. But, oh, kind of notice a bit of a pattern there. Maybe try adding that in next time. Muta's going to fly into the base. Cannon goes down. Probes as well. Hatchery on the right side. This is a bit of a base trade, but can you defend the push on the front? With Banelings, you could, but with no Baneling Nest, I think you're just going to get overrun here. Mutas cannot base trade as fast as Zealot Archon Immortal. And even if you kill 18 probes, which seems good, if this army overwhelms the Zerg army, this is a disaster. The Roaches pull in the mineral line. The Zerglings are useless here. It's only the Roaches, really, that can fight. And oh my god, that's a big ball of Protoss. The Spore Crawler is going to take out one of the Oracles. It does take out one of the Oracles, but then it goes down very quickly to the Immortals. The Roach is getting overrun right now. The Mutas are going to try and run home to help defend. But you can see, just needed Banelings to help clear those Zealots. A really good idea here for Hero, who said, I think you're going to go for Mutalisks, and I'm just going to make a big A-movie army, and I'm going to hit you with a much higher damage density army. And even though I don't have a direct answer to the Mutalisk, I don't need a direct answer, because I can just overwhelm you with a frontal timing. And I think overall, strategically, the way hero played is not optimal, especially for cross map. And I think if Shin had a good opening, his build would have looked way better. He would have hit with mutas well before this attack hit. He would have done way more damage, been able to defend at home. But off the opening hero had, it was fine. Like, I think off the opening hero had, he was so far ahead in the early stages. And Shin's 4th base was so delayed. I mean, Shin's been playing 3 base against now 4 base Protoss. And he's got to get such good trades. And look at this, Phoenix ranges him. Even just 2 or 3 Phoenix can hunt down these Mutalisks. They're all going to go down. Shin has to GG. And it was a very odd read, I think, for hero in this game. I really have to check, like, why did he cancel the Mothership, guys? Because I think it's just seeing the Zerglings. But I want to check if that's actually what preempted that choice or if it was something else. Okay. So Fleet Beacon's on the way. Did he never start the Mothership? Maybe he just forgot that he built... So he kills that. He never starts the Mothership. Fleet Beacon finishes. Sorry, let's go to hero's camera. Did he just forget? Did he just forget that he built a Fleet Beacon? Or was that just preemptive, specifically in case mutas come out so he can build Phoenix range reactively? In which case, wouldn't he be scouting more actively for the Spire so we can see if he needs to commit to it? I'm not crazy, right, guys? Like, what the hell? Why is he built? He's rushed Fleet Beacon, which makes sense to be safe against mutas, because cross-map, Zerg doesn't want to play any regular style. Zerg either wants to go fast hive ultras or wants to go mass muta here. So it makes sense to build it like a Fleet Beacon, but then you just think you'd scout for it a little bit more, but hero didn't really scout for the Spire at all. And he just kind of is like, okay, let's take a 4th, but also he's building it up, and then he finally makes the Mothership. But a little bit delayed there. And the Oracles come in, clean up some units. The mutas flying over the ground army is really bad. I didn't catch that before. Sorry, guys. This was a huge mistake for Shin, right? Oh, he did see them already with the Phoenix hit. Oh, right. Okay, I get it. So what's happened here, guys, is he's like, oh no, the Oracles are coming in. I've got to run my mutas away down the south. But then the Phoenix, yeah, he's trying to like hide his mutas along the bottom side, but this Phoenix just waiting on the edge that was killing an Overlord early on sees the mutas popping. He forgot this was here. It killed an Overlord here earlier. He should have sent a new Overlord. If he went around the right side of the map, he could have maybe snuck the mutas in. But this gave Hero all the time he needed. And then Hero's like, oh, you know what? He tried to make Phoenix range there. He actually just canceled something from his queue to get the money for it. I'm not sure what he canceled, but he canceled something. And he just goes straight into Phoenix's Phoenix range and shuts this down. But Shin's already behind. He's down in supply against a Protoss player. And cross map, it's always going to be hard to kill the Protoss. Can we just give a shout out to Hero, by the way, guys, for taking this 4th base? There's a 4th right here that's like pretty close to your natural. And it just feels really natural to take this base. But Hero has decided to take this base. I honestly, I mean, I think this is just what we call a Hero 4th base. Hero usually likes to take the worst, hardest to defend base. The one reasoning for this is if you're full sending on an attack on the north, you're kind of defending this with your army moving through the north. Whereas if you're planning to attack the north, this base sticks out like a sore thumb, really easy for things to cancel. Maybe that was his thought process. Kind of makes sense in that regard. But I do think this 4th is generally going to be a bit easier to defend. Either way, GG is nice 2-0 for Hero. And he is all over this matchup. I think Shin looked pretty decent, but in this game, getting kind of checkmated by that probe into the Stalker was really problematic. I do not think he expected Hero to scout. And if he reacted here, immediately pulled his drone to the right, he could have hid the drone. Hero, if he's smart, sees the Overlord and goes, ooh, I better block this expansion. But if he hasn't seen a drone coming down, he's going to be much more like, oh, I better scout the main. This could be an early pull. And there's a much higher chance of him not hanging around to block the expansion. But once he sees the drone, Shin's in the doo-doo. And then the fact that Shin doesn't go straight to the 3rd, but turns around to fight him. Look at how much this delays his hatchery while he's floating crazy minerals. I mean, this hatchery goes down so very late. A minute 53, he's already building Zerglings by the time it goes down. Rough start. And then the Stalker walking across because Hero realized, oh, this gas is so late, you're not going to have link speed till 4 minutes earliest. Even on cross map here, I can just harass you with a Stalker and ruin your day. And that's crazy. It's very rare you see a single Stalker ruin a Zerg opening. But I guess there's a first time for everything. And Hero Cybercore before Nexus on the big cross map. Shin is not expecting Probe Scout into Cybercore before Nexus. This is such a weird way to open, but he finds a massive advantage. Hero, as always, impossible to predict, gets a 2-0 and takes the opening match here in Group D. Group D? Group C, I think it is, of RSL. GG's.